The Women's National Basketball Association finds itself at a pivotal juncture as Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark has officially confirmed her return to competitive play following an extended absence due to injury. After weeks of organizational silence and mounting speculation from media outlets and fans alike, the confirmation represents a seismic shift in the league's competitive landscape and playoff dynamics. Clark's journey back to the court has been marked by significant medical complications that threaten to derail what was anticipated to be her breakout professional season. The initial injury, a persistent groin issue, emerged at a critical juncture when the Indiana Fever required her leadership most urgently. This setback immediately sparked widespread debate within basketball circles regarding the adequacy of player protection protocols, particularly given the substantial physical contact Clark has endured throughout the current campaign. The situation deteriorated further in early August when Clark sustained a bone bruise in her left ankle during solo training sessions. This secondary injury transformed her recovery timeline from merely uncertain to completely unpredictable, forcing team medical staff and organizational leadership to reassess their approach entirely. The complexity of bone bruise rehabilitation combined with the existing groin concerns created a medical scenario that required careful, methodical management rather than rushed solutions. Medical experts familiar with similar cases have emphasized that bone bruises, while not as severe as fractures, present unique challenges in professional athletics. The injury affects the bone's internal structure and can cause prolonged discomfort and instability if not properly healed. For a player of Clark's caliber, whose game relies heavily on explosive movements, cutting ability, and sustained court time, the rehabilitation process demanded absolute precision. To prevent long-term complications, the Indiana Fever's front office has demonstrated calculated strategic planning throughout Clark's absence, making several roster moves that signal their confidence in her imminent return. The most telling decision involved the release of Kira Lambert following her brief 7-day contract during which she logged merely 4 seconds of playing time in a single contest. This move, while raising questions across the league, reflects the organization's belief that Clark's return timeline has crystallized. Lambert's signing was never intended as a long-term solution, but rather as a tactical measure to maintain roster flexibility while managing the guard rotation crisis. Her rapid release indicates that team officials have received positive medical updates regarding Clark's condition and are preparing to restore their original rotational structure. Conversely, veteran guard Odyssey Sims has emerged as a crucial component of the team's transitional planning. Sims recently logged 42 minutes in a critical matchup, demonstrating her capacity to provide stability in the backcourt while serving as insurance during Clark's reintegration process. Her veteran presence offers the coaching staff confidence that they can manage Clark's minutes carefully without compromising competitive effectiveness. These roster adjustments reflect a deliberate organizational philosophy that prioritizes both immediate competitive needs and long-term player health. With 9 games remaining in the regular season, every roster spot carries significant weight, and the Fever's management has positioned themselves to maximize Clark's impact from the moment she returns to active duty. According to sources close to the organization and medical staff, Clark's return window has narrowed to between August 22nd and 26th, with the upcoming matchup against the Seattle Storm emerging as the most probable target date. This timeline aligns strategically with the team's schedule, as an extended break following their previous game provides additional conditioning time without sacrificing valuable competitive opportunities. Coach Stephanie White has provided subtle but encouraging updates regarding Clark's progress, noting her participation in full-contact practice sessions. In professional basketball, full-contact clearance typically represents the final hurdle before official game activation, suggesting that Clark has successfully navigated the most challenging phases of her rehabilitation. However, the organization remains cautiously optimistic rather than definitive about the timeline. Bone bruise recovery varies significantly between individuals, and the medical staff has emphasized the importance of ensuring complete healing rather than risking potential setbacks through premature activation. The balance between competitive urgency and medical prudence represents one of the most critical decisions the organization will make this season. The timing carries additional significance given the Fever's current playoff positioning. Every game carries heightened importance as teams jockey for postseason berths, creating natural pressure to accelerate Clark's return. Yet rushing her back prematurely could prove counterproductive, potentially compromising both her individual health and the team's collective championship aspirations. Clark's statistical contributions prior to her injury underscore her irreplaceable value to the Indiana Fever's competitive framework. Leading the team in both assists, 8.8 per game, and scoring 16.5 points per game, her absence created a leadership vacuum that fundamentally altered the team's offensive identity. Without her court vision and shot creation ability, the Fever struggled to maintain consistent offensive rhythm, frequently appearing disjointed and lacking clear strategic direction. The ripple effects of her return extend far beyond Indianapolis. Opposing coaching staffs across the league must now recalibrate their defensive strategies to account for Clark's unique skill set. Her deep shooting range forces defenders to extend beyond the traditional three-point arc, creating driving lanes and spacing opportunities that benefit her teammates significantly. This gravitational effect on opposing defenses represents one of the most valuable, yet difficult to quantify aspects of her game. From a broader league perspective, Clark's return affects attendance figures, television viewership, and media coverage patterns. The WNBA has experienced record-breaking viewership numbers this season, with Clark serving as a primary catalyst for increased fan engagement. Her presence transforms routine regular season matchups into must-watch events, influencing broadcast scheduling and marketing strategies across the league. Television networks and streaming platforms have already begun adjusting their coverage plans in anticipation of her return. Games featuring Clark consistently generate higher ratings and social media engagement, making her health status a significant factor in the league's overall commercial success this season. Coach Stephanie White faces the complex challenge of reintegrating Clark into the team's established rotations while managing her physical limitations and maintaining competitive effectiveness. The coaching staff has indicated that Clark will initially return with minutes restrictions, allowing for gradual conditioning improvement while minimizing injury risk. Tactically, the Fever's offensive system will likely emphasize Clark's elite shooting ability to restore proper floor spacing. Her presence beyond the three-point line forces defensive adjustments that create enhanced driving opportunities for teammates Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith. This complementary dynamic was notably absent during Clark's injury period, resulting in a more predictable and easier-to-defend offensive approach. Off-ball movement will become increasingly important as Clark works back into game shape. The coaching staff plans to utilize staggered screen sequences and motion sets that create clean shooting opportunities without requiring excessive physical exertion. These tactical adjustments acknowledge her shooting excellence while accommodating potential conditioning limitations during the early stages of her return. Defensively, Clark's return provides additional transition opportunities through her ability to generate steals and deflections. Her court awareness and anticipation skills create fast break situations that can shift game momentum, particularly important given the Fever's need to generate easy scoring opportunities during this critical stretch. The Indiana Fever currently finds themselves in precarious playoff positioning, sitting just outside the postseason picture with limited margin for error. Mathematical analysis suggests the team requires approximately 6 victories in their final 9 contests to secure a playoff berth, making every remaining game crucial to their postseason aspirations. Clark's return fundamentally alters these calculations. Her presence transforms the Fever from a team fighting for respectability into a legitimate threat against any opponent. Historical data indicates that teams featuring elite point guards with Clark's skill set typically experience significant improvement in close game situations, an area where Indiana has struggled throughout her absence. The competitive implications extend beyond mere statistical improvement. Clark's leadership presence and clutch time performance ability provide intangible benefits that can prove decisive in tightly contested matchups. Her experience in high-pressure situations, demonstrated throughout her collegiate and early professional career, offers the team confidence during crucial moments. Regional rivals, including Dallas, Seattle, and Chicago, must now account for a significantly different Indiana team when planning their own playoff positioning strategies. Clark's return creates potential upset scenarios that could dramatically alter the final playoff bracket configuration. Beyond immediate playoff considerations, Clark's comeback represents a defining moment in her professional trajectory. Successfully navigating this injury recovery and leading the Fever to postseason contention would solidify her reputation as a transformative player capable of elevating team performance under adverse circumstances. The medical management of her return also establishes important precedents for future injury situations. Professional sports organizations increasingly recognize the long-term benefits of conservative injury management, particularly for franchise cornerstones like Clark. Her case will likely influence organizational policies regarding player health and recovery protocols moving forward. From a broader perspective, Clark's situation highlights the evolving relationship between player empowerment and organizational responsibility in professional women's basketball. Her ability to influence timing decisions while trusting medical expertise reflects a mature approach that balances individual aspirations with collective team goals. The stakes surrounding her return transcend individual accolades or single-season achievements. Clark has emerged as a foundational figure in the WNBA's continued growth in mainstream acceptance. Her successful comeback story could provide lasting inspiration for future generations of female athletes while demonstrating the league's commitment to player welfare and competitive excellence. As the basketball world awaits official confirmation of her return date, one certainty remains: Caitlin Clark's comeback will represent far more than a single player's return to competition. It symbolizes resilience, strategic patience, and the transformative power of elite talent in professional athletics.